Make sure you are seated comfortably, your body relaxed. Close your eyes and focus your attention on your breath, feeling the gentle rise and fall of your lungs. Allow any tensions and worries to slip away, with each out-breath releasing any negativity, with each in-breath drawing in purifying, clean air. Slowly let all outside concerns fade away. The space around you begins to darken as your attention moves inwards. Your awareness of the world around you recedes, leaving only a quiet, peaceful darkness. You rest a moment in the darkness, feeling yourself safe and secure. The darkness spreads out in all directions, vast and silent. You rest within the great void, Ginunga Gap, the emptiness before creation, before the beginning of time and the birth of space. Within this void all things will come into being. In the very distance, on either side of you, you are aware of the realms of fire and ice. So far away you can barely perceive them. Through their union, force and form will come into being, and the worlds will be set in motion. It is in this place that you will meet Dagaz. In the centre of the void you see a small light, a tiny spark of vitality. We will call the name of Dagaz 3 times to bring it into being. Dagaz, Dagaz, Dagaz. Through the power of our voices, the spark of light transforms, glowing with the shining brilliance of sunlight and becoming the shape of your Dagaz rune. It grows larger and larger, shining brightly in the darkness, steadily moving towards you until it comes to rest, waiting for you to enter. Slowly you pass through the rune and into the realm beyond. You are walking with a group of companions through a mountain pass. The steep rock face banks away to left and right, punctuated every now and then by a deep fissure sprouting moss and lichen. Your pace is hurried, and the group's guide ushers you all on, reminding you in an anxious voice that you must reach the safety of the valley beyond before nightfall. He points out the deep ravines that fall steeply away from the path every mile or so, and reminds you of the ruined dwellings you passed earlier that morning. The mountains do not take kindly to those who disturb them. Although you take your guide's concerns seriously, you, like the rest of your party, are filled with optimism. Your pilgrimage has been a long one, and you are now but a day's walk from your destination. The cold air of the mountains sends an anticipatory chill down your spine. You have dreamt of this day for so long. The eerie presence of the mountain cannot put a damper on the glow of anticipation inside you. Around you, your companions are also filled with jubilance. The man beside you walks with a limp and speaks of the healing he will receive at the journey's end, while the woman to your right talks of the family she will be reunited with. You think of your own dreams and hopes for the future, and can hardly believe that tomorrow they will be fulfilled. As the sun begins to set, you allow yourself to dwell on your goals and dreams that have brought you on this journey. You can taste the sweet nectar of success in your mouth, hear voices rejoicing for you. You feel that you can touch the reality of your dreams with your outstretched fingertips. Beneath you, the path has become more rocky, and the rest of your attention focuses firmly on keeping your footing as the sky above begins to darken. It is some time before you notice that, apart from your own footsteps scrambling over the rocks, you are surrounded by silence. You look up. Ahead of you, a dead tree has fallen across the pathway. Behind, the rocks fall away from the shallow slope down to an abandoned hut below. There is no one with you. You shout to your companions, your voice reverberating among the rocks and echoing back to taunt you. You shout louder, your voice mocking you, telling that you have lost your companions. Panic begins to set in as you hurriedly scramble back down the path you came, calling to your guide and searching for recognisable features in the landscape. As you round a sweeping corner in the rock face, your heart sinks as you see a number of pathways before you, snaking off in all directions. Which path did you come down? Which did your party take? The gloom deepens as you examine the ground for traces of your group, but the pathways all look the same. No marks on the ground, no trail of discarded rubbish to hint at the direction they took. For a moment you consider that they might come back for you, but you know that this is a vain hope. You are all strangers to each other, and one missing amongst so many will not be missed. As the last daylight fades away and the stars flicker into being above you, you search absently for a light, but you know already that you have none. You have circled the crossroads many times now. You know a decision must be made. You cannot stay here as food for the mountain wolves, who will undoubtedly cross these pathways. You wrap your cloak tightly around you and carefully make your way down the most friendly-feeling path. Step by step you inch forward, knowing that you could easily miss a steep drop or stumble upon a fallen rock. How alone you feel now. The glowing anticipation of only hours earlier is long gone. You think of your companions huddled together, sheltering beyond the mountain pass, eagerly anticipating the coming of the day. Where will you be then? Still lost in the mountains. No food, no water. Your dreams and hopes crushed beneath the shadow darkness of the rocks that hem you in on all sides. Your way is lit only by the stars, and they provide little comfort as you edge forwards. In the silence your footsteps sound deafening and you slow even further, afraid that the noise you are making will attract the attention of whatever lurks in this barren place. A bank of clouds slowly drifts across the sky and the light of the moon is lost to you. You are weary now and stumble to the ground as your foot catches in a snag. The breath is knocked out of you as you fall forwards. Your knees are bruised and your hands sting as the rocks bite at them. You reach out to feel what tripped you and catch hold of the root of a tree that has fallen across the pathway. As you pull it towards yourself, the cruel moon chooses that moment to briefly illuminate the landscape once more, showing the gnarled tree, rocks falling away to your left and the outline of a small hut below. You cry out in frustration, for you are convinced that this is the same tree and hut that you stopped at all those hours ago. You sink back down, filled with despair. The clouds choose this moment to finally claim the sky, drawing away the moon and the stars, leaving you in complete darkness. You feel your way around the tree and crawl upon the pathway. The rocks bite into your hands and knees as you edge forwards, consumed by hopelessness. Almost resolved to just give up, curling into a ball and letting the mountain take you. The darkness is all-consuming. You could forget who you were and where you came from in a place like this. On you crawl. Each movement seems to drain away all of your energy, so that you have to call it up once more, filling yourself with each step with more resolve. Each time your hope is diminished just a little bit more, and the temptation to give in grows stronger. You are chilled to the bone, your senses dulled, blind and deaf in this silent place. Finally you can go no longer, and you lie down upon the path, still and empty. You do not sleep. You simply feel the darkness weighing you down, draining away all your energy, suffocating you in its stillness and silence. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, the sky begins to turn from black to grey. You can make out the shadow of the mountains behind you, lingering over you, reminding you that you are lost within their heartland. The change is so slow that this pre-dawn light feels like it will last forever, bathing you in its weak greyish glow. Eventually the day strengthens, rimming the black peaks in pale blue, pushing against the heavy blanket of night. You turn over and see that you are on the edge of a steep drop. Beneath you all is still in darkness. You draw back from the edge of the path, roused from your stupor by the knowledge that a few more paces would have sent you rolling into the darkness below. The sky above you is dark blue, fading to the paleness of morning above the mountains. The first yellow of the dawn tints the sky with its light. The east grows brighter and brighter, showing the jagged edges of the black mountains and revealing the tops of tall pine trees beneath you. An ocean of light flows slowly into the dark night blue above, gold and pink rising with the sky blue of day. As the first burning edge of the sun rises up above the mountain tops, you stand, loosening your cloak from your shoulders. The sun touches your back and neck, chasing away the cold and the pain. The tips of the pines turn green, and you hear the splash of water far below you. Your head is filled with a dizzying rush of lightness as you rejoice in this new dawn. In the glory of the sun's new light, you feel as if you are floating in mid-air, suspended between the day behind you and the night before you, held safely on the path ledge between the mountain heights and the valley below. All of your feelings of dullness, of emptiness, are gone, chased away by the glowing light of day. You are held in this moment of perfect balance, and feel the powers of night and day flowing through you, perfectly balanced in their greatest moment of power. You feel filled with excitement, with potential, but also with a feeling of perfect peace. Just to stand here would be enough, is enough. But ahead of you a whole new day stretches, full of possibility and opportunity and the fulfillment of your hopes. As if in answer to your new-found optimism, a golden ray of sunlight pierces through the mountain peaks and shoots down into the valley beneath you. Although the path you are on stretches off back into the mountains, the sun lights up a patch of gold, heading downwards into the trees from the path. The woodland path shines golden, lengthening as the light of the sun strikes it, stretching out from where you stand down into the trees. The golden path ripples through the forest and on into the green valley beyond. Slowly the sun shows you the way, the path blazing in golden light. Your journey will start once more. With lightness in your heart you begin your descent. You know you have all the time you need to bring your hopes and dreams into fruition, to enjoy the surprises and the blessings of life, and to enjoy the light of the sun. You gather this feeling inside you, holding it safe in your heart, letting it fill you up. As you enter among the first trees, a radiant Dagaz rune of pure gold light forms above the pathway in front of you. You walk towards it with confident steps, passing through it, feeling its power caress you as you pass out of the realm of Dagaz into darkness once more. Standing in the darkness, you give thanks to the rune for its lessons and energy. You watch as it fades away, leaving you in darkness, ready to return to your physical form. Slowly you let your attention return to your body, feeling the darkness around you start to fade. You let your awareness expand to the space around you as the darkness recedes. You feel yourself centered within your body, your attention focused on your physical presence, your breath and your heartbeat. The Dagaz rune has gone, and you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing yourself back to normal reality. Take your time, and when you are ready, open your eyes.